Okay, I think we're live on Facebook. We're recording in Zoom, checking all those boxes. I'm Ryan Lanier with Organizing for Good in Austin, Texas, and thrilled as usual to bring you the nonprofit shout out interview. One of the times where I get to get in touch with an area nonprofit, Area 2, Austin, Texas, and find out what amazing work they're doing to lift up marginalized communities and just bring a little something extra to the world that really needs it. So I'm really excited to be talking to Valerie Rios today. She is she's the Executive Director of Partners in Parenting. From here on out, we will refer to it as PIP. And the exciting thing is she's in Amsterdam. So welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having both me as a representative from our organization and of course PIP. We're honored to be here.
We're excited to have you and thank you for making it work from Europe. So it's amazing. Okay, so I really would like you to just launch into who and what is PIP all about. Yes. And just give us all the backstory.
All right, I will. So Partners in Parenting is an organization that's been in our community since 2014 and was founded by two mothers that moved here from Seattle and saw a need and a desire in the community to build and form community amongst new parents. And what's really exciting is that since that initial first PIP group in 2014, the organization has just been able to serve so many families. So we're looking to move beyond the $1,000 as well, but we'll get to that later. The 1,000 families served this year.
Wow.
And I want to talk a little bit about how we do that. So our motto or our mission is we try to build a village for all new parents in Austin. And it's a lovely catchphrase and it's a really short an easy way to kind of sum up what we do, but what's exciting is to talk about what that really means. So those of you that are parents now, think about when you first had your tiny little human, you brought your tiny little human home, you had done all your research about what was going to happen during this child being brought into the world, but not a lot of research around what happens after that child is in the world. And that's where PIP comes in as an organization. So the need to talk in more detail about the fourth trimester kind of was the original reason why PIP was formed. And so one of the unique things about PIP as well is that we serve both parents within the household, so the entire family unit. And so as we know, a family unit can look very different and it can not only have 3 members, but it could have 4 or 5 or 6. And so PIP is here for a family that is entering parenthood in that 4th trimester for the first time, entering it for the 2nd time or the 3rd time. Since the original creation of PIP, what I love to share is that PIP also one of the main things that we strive to do is to serve all families in Austin. So originally, for those watching, you might have known PIP as a paid program, but today, and the way in which that we have it rolled out within the community, it's a program for all. And so what that means is that there's various ways that you can register for the program. You can register for the program and ask for support. And so a basic support package looks like including diapers, wipes, and gift cards. Or you can choose to just join a group and opt out of the basic needs support. You can opt in to sponsor a family that's in need of basic support. And you could even opt in at the time of registration to sponsor an entire family through our program. So the idea is that as you're served as an individual family, you are also given the opportunity to serve others within our community as well.
Wow, like serving within serving. That's so, I love that. I would not hesitate to call that the ripple effect. So I'm curious about this 4th trimester. Is that a phrase that you coined at PIP or you've heard it somewhere else?
Oh, I wish we had coined it, but no, we use it quite a lot amongst our team, and then also with the partners within the community we work with. But no, it's an actual term. The fourth trimester is the time after the baby comes into the world. The technical range is the first 12 weeks. But many of us who have gone down the road of parenthood know that that can extend beyond just the first 13 weeks and really up until you feel that you've recovered from that birth, which can be much longer for many.
It's a really unsure time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I recall, I mean, not even just, I mean, definitely with the first, but even with subsequent, because then it's like, oh, wait, now I've got this. And I think this is really amazing. Community is it's super important to support via in the community. So I had that in my neighborhood. I found a mom's group, right? So are there similar, I mean, so the idea is more kind of like a young parents group, but you've really taken it to other levels. So I'm fascinated. Right. Keep talking.
No, so exactly. So it's that village of coming together of all those family units coming. So usually a group is between 4 to 5 families. It can go up to 8 but we try to pair families with a minimum of 4 families. And so if you can imagine that you're walking through this journey of parenthood, they are complete strangers the first time you come together. And we'll talk a little bit about how we come together now in this virtual space. And then you journey through some of the really hot and heavy topics together. So the first week is that introduction, and we give each parent the opportunity to talk about their journey through birth, which I've loved hearing from so many parents that it's sometimes the only time that they're asked about what that birthing experience was like for them. And you get to share in a space with other families who have recently just experienced that as well. So, I mean, not only having the gift to be able to talk about that so quickly and have the open dialogue is such an opportunity for how that child is continuing to interact in the world and how you are as well. And so then the second week is either about feeding or sleep, and the group decides, but as you could guess, most families choose to talk about sleep because no one's really getting a lot of it. Then the next week is feeding. Then we talk about early development and learning. And then our 5th week is where we talk about emotional changes and challenges, because what we do know is every parent, no matter how big or how small, experiences some sort of emotional transition as they move into the space of becoming a parent.
Oh, I think those stories just live with you for the rest of your life. I mean, it's really becomes a part of you. And I always feel like, I wasn't the first person to go through this. I'm not the last person to go through this. And we all can relate to each other because of it. So, okay. So how do you serve and what happened? My second question is always, when COVID happened, how did that affect you guys? What were some of the changes you made? And what are some things you learned actually to keep?
Yes, a great question. So virtually overnight, our program transitioned from being in homes to Zoom. So that was really overnight, and then it was just a learning process. One of the beautiful things that came out of COVID was this rally behind the scenes amongst the facilitators that lead families through our program. So we had a training program before, and then essentially we put all of the knowledge and facilitation skills into these facilitators that are volunteers, and then they went off and they led these groups in people's homes. But when that was no longer available to us, and we were really trying to find out how to navigate this new space that we were in, it was almost like there was a camaraderie between everyone together to rally around to how are we going to do this. So one of the neat things is to see our volunteer facilitators now come together for weekly, monthly check-ins, and they're much more close in a way that we weren't before the pandemic. It was always on the horizon to try to develop something like this, but this kind of just, like we've heard from so many organizations, push that really forward to the forefront. And then for families, it took us a while. So we were meeting in community centers with our basic support package programs that I mentioned earlier. And it took us a while to decide how to pivot. We knew that technology and access to internet was going to be an issue for many of our families. This is a program that we run predominantly in Spanish. And so at the beginning of the pandemic, most of the families in which we served have older children in the home. And so the bandwidth, obviously the priority needs to go for the child to be able to attend online learning. So it took us a little bit longer to think about how are we going to reach our families in the same way that we were before. And out of that was birthed this WhatsApp program. So it was an app that most of our families already had on their phone. It allowed for video calling conferencing, and it was in your hand almost 24 hours a day. And so our families were able to connect.
And free. And it's free. And free.
Right, yeah, and free. Very important factor for both our families and also as an organization to run with it. So that became the way in which we piloted first in Spanish, and now we're also running those in English as well.
That's amazing. I mean, way to find the accessibility avenue. And wow, that's so great. Anything else?
I really, the way that we have started to work as a team, we were, many of us are, all of us actually, I'll just lift the veil, we're all working parents. And so the way in which we have been connecting. So just like we ask our participants to connect in different mediums throughout the week to stay connected. So on your mobile device, and then maybe through a Facebook group, or through an email chain, and then also via the Zoom or the WhatsApp platform. We did the same for our team. So we started a team text chain that we connected with. And so just trying to implement what we're doing for the community also as a team, so that we can see what actually works and what makes you feel connected, even in this really kind of crazy time that we're in.
That's terrific. I think what you realized was that what you had going before COVID was just too important to just let COVID destroy or affect it too deeply. So I think you guys really dug deep and found something really accessible to keep it going. So that is absolutely amazing. So I can only imagine just on a day-to-day basis what these groups are doing for families.
Yeah, and one thing that I always like to bring up is that the research tells us that isolation for a new parent is one of the factors that we are trying to work against, to make sure that you have this support system, this community around you, so that you can weather parenting together. And then this magnified what that isolation looked like for a new parent. And we even saw that parents were being isolated before they had their babies. So what also birthed in this time was this prenatal program. So this opportunity for families to come together even before. We rely very heavily on word of mouth for families to share and share and share. And that happens in these social settings that we took for granted, like in parks, or when you're sitting in the waiting room for your OBGYN. Well, now, one patient was coming in and they were trying to filter them in. So we didn't have that space of community to share the word of PIP. So we implemented a prenatal program that allowed us to give everyone a kind of teaser or opportunity to get to know our organization before they entered the big realm of parenting.
Oh, that's great, because when the baby's still inside, you still have both hands to work with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Once that baby's out, it's a whole other ball game. Oh, that's so amazing. Yeah. I've always called parenting the hardest, best job ever.
Yeah, that's a good way to sum it up.
it's the hardest, best job.
Yeah.
And, just going through it with others is just critical. Okay, so how now do you keep the lights on, so to speak? How does the community support you? Volunteers, events, links, donating? Tell us all.
Yes. I'm so excited to share. So the wonderful part about PIP is there's so many ways to get involved with our organization. One of the other things that's really new is these committees. So I'm going to start to kind of go across all of the opportunities. Everybody may or may not know that a nonprofit has a board of directors, and those board of directors have a certain number of seats that they take and provide leadership for an organization. But why limit us to just being involved in the community of those board seats? Another way that you can get involved is to be a part of a committee. So we have committee seats available in addition to our board seats. We also have various opportunities to volunteer within the organization. So I mentioned this group leader call that's supporting all of our group facilitators that are leading these groups. And the number one question I get is, do I have to be a birth professional if I wanted to lead this? And most people that come forward and say they want to lead think about, oh, I wish I would have had this when I was a new parent. And that's all you really need. You need a strong desire to want to serve and support new parents. And that's the number one criteria that we ask for. So we hold those trainings monthly. So you could be a volunteer facilitator. And then in addition to that, you are most welcome to donate and support. So I mentioned that each participant is given the opportunity to support a family with basic needs support or by sponsoring a family. And so all of those different tiers are also available on our website for an individual donor. So you can visit pipaustin.org/donate and choose what type of donation and what type of gift would best suit your family and the impact that you'd like to make within the community.
That's awesome. So far, so good. Events.
Okay. Yes. So PIP does some really fun events. One that is not being held this year is called the Picnic. So I know, isn't it cute? I love it. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and she always comes up and goes, "Get it, Mom? Like Pip, Nick." And so, yeah.
Oh, they're so smart, aren't they?
They're so smart, so witty. So, so there is the picnic, but we will be having it in 2022. So there's tons of opportunity to sponsor these types of events. The one that's coming up and that everyone should mark their agendas for is in September. So we have the Austin Birth Awards. So one thing I would want to say about the Austin Birth Awards is that, and I'm just pulling up the date here as we speak, it will be on September 23rd. And the wonderful thing about the Austin Birth Awards is that it's your opportunity to nominate a birth professional within the community that has gone above and beyond. And we honored the onset of the pandemic last year, and also what organizations had done to push forward equity within their organizations. And we're going to do the same thing again this year. So look for nominations to open next month. And we are really excited to see all of the community step forward and tell us who has really been a shining light in their world over the last year.
That is amazing. When you said the birth awards, I did not know where you're going to go with that.
You are the second person that has come forward that has said it.
I was like, okay, we're giving awards, but I mean, usually the award is, little person, but that's awesome.
We have thought many times, should we change it to the Austin Professional Birth Awards or something else so that we
just stick with it. I think it kind of makes you go, you want to know more. So I like it. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. What an amazing thing that you are doing here. And it just sounds, what I love about this nonprofit in general, I mean, specifically, is the ability to, layers of giving, right? Even after you are out of that, you want to help other families go, don't we always want to say, oh my gosh, you're getting ready to have a baby. Okay, here are the 5 things nobody told you. Right. And, oh, your kid's teething. Here are the 5 things you do when they're teething. Right. I don't say it lightly when I say that the neighborhood moms group I was in made me a better mom. I mean, to this day, I just went on a girls' weekend with 5 of them,
Right.
And our oldest kids are 21 now. I mean, this is long lasting goodness, I think.
Yes. And I can certainly speak to that as well. Just while we've been on this call, I received a message. So I am 2 years postpartum with my second child and got to go through our program as a participant as well. And those families that we were able to meet the second time around are just my lifeline. And I met with them I think like 3 weeks ago, and continue to keep in touch, and are getting really excited as all of our little ones approach the 2-year mark. So
it's amazing. That's amazing. So is there anything I haven't asked you yet? Do you'd like to share?
Yes, I would. As you were saying that list, you were saying, I would love for anyone watching this, if the one thing that they take away from this is the next person that they run into, see, or find out is expecting here in Austin, if one of that checklist was, hey, have you joined your next PIP group? That is one of our dreams as a team, to make it the household name that when someone is expecting, everyone surrounds them and makes sure that they know about the opportunity to join a PIP group.
I love that. Our culture just has gotten away from that, right? Typically, we would be living with extended relatives or, and have that support built in. That is just not culturally what we have that much anymore. Well, some yes, some no. So I think that's great. And I can definitely do that as well. So I look forward to, so, and is this just an Austin thing? I mean, do these groups exist anywhere else under a different name or?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. So we didn't talk about that when I talked about how we were founded, but I mentioned that 2 women moved here from Seattle, and that's where our parent organization is from. So
okay, thank you.
Another P. It's called PEPS, but PEPS is in Seattle, and there are some network partners around the nation.
Okay.
So we have PEPS, we have Pico Pals down in Hawaii, we have TAPS out in North Carolina. But as far as Texas, and we have got a lot of requests over the last 15 months through the pandemic, we are just greater Austin specific. So we do serve the counties just south and north of Austin, but we do stay just within the Central Texas region for the moment.
Okay. All right. That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, like an idea like this needs to spread. Like it needs to get out. It needs to get out and help more and more people. So
hopefully we'll be serving more community. The next time that we speak together, and I hope we'll be serving even more communities.
It sounds like growth is inevitable with something like this for sure. So especially if you can garner as much support as you guys need, both through people and monetary. So this has been a great educational moment for me. So this is just another checkbox of why Austin is just so amazing, right?
Yeah, it really is.
It's just a great place to be. So anyway, so anybody who has watched this, please like and share all the social medias for parent partners in parenting, also known as PIP Austin. Please share this interview to your personal page, because chances are somebody who could benefit from this. And she said we need to share this mission on the daily. So thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate for tuning in from Amsterdam. I think that's a one and done for me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And again, thanks for everybody for watching the nonprofit Shoutout interview. There's a whole body of work on my YouTube channel. You could, binge it like your favorite Netflix show and learn about so many amazing things that are going on in Austin to support communities, and subscribe while you're there. I really appreciate that. So Well, we're going to close this up for now. I will not be bringing a nonprofit shout out next week. I will be visiting my mom and family in North Carolina. It has been over 2 years and I'm so excited to go back. So I will be back with you in 2 weeks to bring you another nonprofit shout out. So thanks everybody for watching. Like and share. And thanks for your time today watching. And thank you, Valerie, for joining me.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.